I remember him used to get bollockings off the ref in the international scene, so when nobody was even looking. So
this is Jonathan Agger, 5th Pro Boxing Fans here in Phoenix with Dalton Smith. Dalton, your boy Sonny Edwards fighting this Saturday, massive fight against Bam Rodriguez. How are you feeling though, being here in Arizona fight week?
yeah, wicked. There's nothing better than a fight night in not I wouldn't say Vegas then, but the US. So yeah, buzzing. Sonny's ready to capture another belt to his collection, and yeah, the team's buzzing.
You've been in camp with him the whole time. How's he been looking, and what's his mindset?
The best I've seen him. And I keep saying you'll see it when he's on the scales. When Sonny's got abs, he's in shape. But he's done two away camps in Tenerife for this fight. So it shows he's put everything into it. He's put a lot of money in. Bring his sparring partners out and stuff like that. And like I say, it's probably the most serious camp he's had, and the best shape he's in. So he's ready to go.
It's a hard fight to call, most fans are saying, but obviously you're going to back Sonny. Why do you think he's going to beat Bam on Saturday?
I think stylistically, Sonny's all wrong for Bam. And I know I'm going to be biased and stuff, but there's a reason Sonny's been calling these fights for a long time, because, and also they've been avoiding the fight. You could see through the negotiations with Bam, they was trying to avoid it the best they could. So, I just think, people are looking at this fight, it's a real 50-50, but, I've got no worries whatsoever with this fight. I think stylistically, Sonny's all wrong for Bam.
Do you think it's going to be a complete shutout then, 12 rounds to nil, or do you think this could be a close fight?
Like I say, my prediction is Sonny outclasses him. He wins the most majority of the rounds. And that's my prediction. That's just me just seeing Sonny to the things he does, and obviously it's probably the best fight. You look on paper, it's the best fighter Sonny's faced in Bam. He's young, he's hungry, can punch, but it always comes down to the feet with Sonny. You can't hit what you can't see, and Sonny never stays there long enough. Bam's looked very destructive throughout his career. Achieved a lot at such a young age, but I just think I'm very confident. Sonny's got his number.
Moving on to yourself, Dalton. When can we expect to see you back in the ring?
Hopefully February, March time. We're just working on a few dates, opponents and stuff. Nothing's finalised yet. So I'm just in the gym, ready to go. Like I say, February, March time.
Obviously, we saw Haney beat Prograis on Saturday night. How far do you think you're off any of those guys?
Not a million miles away. Obviously, you look at those guys, that they're elite, they're the best, not just in the 140-pound division, but in boxing at the minute. So, as long as I keep winning, get myself in those positions, these are the big fights I'm going to be in. And, I'm more than confident I can get the job done when, my time comes for those fights.
I saw an interview where I think you were with Eddie, and then Bill Haney sort of gate crashes it, and Eddie's saying this, and this is the guy that's next up in Britain and things like that. Yeah. I think you were like, I'd fight Haney now, but I mean, is that a potential fight down the line, you against Haney?
Yeah, you've got to be realistic with yourself. Devin Haney's going to be looking at me and just be like, it's another guy in the queue. Everybody's chasing those fights, but some guys chase it for the money. Some people do it for their legacy, and I'm most definitely doing it for my legacy. So I've got to get myself in a position for these guys to respect me, and make sure I get the offer. I get into these fights, but of course they're looking at me. Obviously, they're not sure where I really am at the minute, but they'll soon know.
What do you think of Conor Benn saying he'd be up for fighting Devin?
Like I say, it's back when Mayweather was the man. Devin's the man coming through. He's the, some people see it as the big cash fight. So, of course, if it's one of the biggest fights out there, people are going to call it. Whether Devin moves up to 147, we'll see. But I do think he'll be staying at 140 for a while.
And obviously we know the big domestic fight that's going to keep building is you and Adam Azim. What did you make of his last fight?
Yeah, good performance. Did what he had to do. You know, we knew what Poulsen was going to bring for Adam. But like I say, respect where it's due. He went in there, did what he had to do, and got the job done.
I spoke to him, like, I don't know, 5 months ago or something, and he was talking about Rowley, the WBA champion. He said like he'd be up for fighting that guy now. I mean, would you say you'd be ready for a Rowley?
I mean, if he's ready for Rowley now, why is he not ready for me now? That's what I say. So, of course, I think Rowley's one of the weaker champions at the minute. Obviously, no disrespect to him, but he's a world champion at the end of the day. But you know, if I got offered the Rowley fight tomorrow, you know, I'd take it. So, but of course, like me and Adam, we wanted to chase the best, and we want to be the best. But you have to fight each other to see who's the best.
So with the Azim fight, is that something you want, this next year, 2024, or do you think it should keep building? Maybe when both of you have world titles, that's the time to make it. When do you think that fight should happen?
You know, whenever really. I think whether it happens now or for a world title, it's going to be a big fight. But I always put it back to the George Groves situation. The loser in that fight was the first to go on and win a world title. And you know, they could have gone on and fought again. So, well, you could make it 2 paydays there.
Is that the De Gale fight you mean?
The De Gale fight, George Groves De Gale fight, yeah. So, but like I say, you can't. Boxing's a business, and you know, you've got to do what's best for your career. But you know, I wouldn't be too fussed whether it happens now, next year, or for a world title. And
obviously another guy is Harlem Eubank. Do you see that fight happening next year?
Yeah, possibly. We asked for that in February, March, but they didn't want it. But yeah, so like I said, another big name, another big fight out there. So yeah, we just keep on winning, keep on building, and you know, make them into big fights.
And then 2 more things I wanted to ask you. I was wondering if Ben Whittaker obviously performed on Saturday night, and he's come for some criticism for his style and things like that. The reason I'm asking you because I imagine you spent a lot of time with him during the GB days. What would you make of sort of some of the criticism of him? And you know, do you think he brings something different?
What do I think to the criticism? Fuck him. As long as he's winning. Yeah. As long as he's winning, you know, Ben's my guy, man. We came up through the youths, been to, you know, multiple international tournaments together. You know, and that's Ben's style. You know, he hasn't just come into the pros and been flamboyant and showboating. I remember him used to get bollockings off the ref in the international scene, so when nobody was even looking. So you know, that's just Ben. He's not putting on that for a show. That's his style, and you know, he's you know, his performances are backing it up. So you know, as long as he's being himself, he can do what he wants.
And then another guy you went through the GB setup with is Anthony Joshua. Wilder's come out saying, look, he's mentally weak and things like that. I mean, you know him probably better than most. What do you make of his mindset?
I mean, you can look at his performances. He looks like, you know, he can hold back a little bit. But I'm not here to judge anybody's mental state. You know, I don't know what anybody's thinking, anybody's doing. I only see what's on TV and what's on camera. So, you know, that's only him who can say that. But for me, he's still at the top of his game. He's performing, and I've got a lot of respect for AJ. You know, he's given me a lot of great advice growing up. You know, he's supporting me. So, you know, I'm here to do that and give it back to him.
Dalton, thanks for your time, and enjoy your rest of the week here in Phoenix.
Thank you. Cheers.